Hey folks, it's Chad here, Airstream in Greensboro, a Blue Compass company, and today we're going to do an in-depth video of the all-new 2025 Airstream Flying Cloud 27 front bed, twin bed model. This one also has the hatch and the front bunk and the standard microwave and oven. So let's jump into a video of the top, the bottom, the outside, the inside now. So as we start the in-depth review of the 27-foot Flying Cloud, I want to mention a few things, and we're going to put the specifications right here. Did I say that word correctly? I did, okay. The Flying Cloud is going to be focused more towards families. It's also going to be more neutral and kind of modern on the interior colors. So the decor is going to give you the opportunity to kind of style it the way that you want to. And there's some unique options that you get only on the Flying Cloud, things like the front bunk and the desk. You also have some floor plans that are also only on the Flying Cloud, that being the office floor plan and the bunkhouse floor plan you can only get on the Flying Cloud. So this is Airstream's kind of bread and butter. They sell more Flying Clouds than they do anything else, although right now we are selling a ton of Globetrotters, so I'm not sure what's going on in the market, but that is the hot ticket. But Flying Cloud is their bread and butter. They sell more of these than they do anything else, except for the base camp, and that makes no sense. Now the 27-foot, as I mentioned, I think at the beginning of the video or at some point, this is the #1 seller, or has been for the last couple of years, for the double axle model. So the single axle would be different, but for the double axle model, the 27-foot has been the #1 seller. So let's jump into the inside of the 27 front bed, twin bed model now. All right, now as we move inside, let me talk about the door a little bit. And I know if you're one of those that watches the videos and you hear me talk about the door all the time, first of all, thanks for watching the videos. We really do appreciate it. Second, I don't know who has seen the video, who hasn't. And the truth is, based on the statistics, most of the people who watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. So subscribe to the channel. It does help us, it helps the channel, it helps the world be a better place. So the door, it takes Airstream about 8 hours to manufacture this door. And it's a labor of love, because it's an individual making this by hand. They're crafting it by hand, building it. You're going to see the pop rivets on the inside. And we did talk about buck rivets a lot. On average, Airstream is going to have about 3,000 rivets, both buck rivets and buck rivets. Okay. Not that I've been made fun of that on the channel.
Not that his wife thought he was saying butt rivets this whole time.
Yep. So you have the buck rivets, and then you also have the pop rivets here. So just the difference is the way that these are manufactured. This is going to use a tool that presses, like hammers into it, and then there's a flat piece of steel that it's hitting against, and it kind of forms this tight seal. It becomes such a tight mechanical fastener. You actually see how it pulls into aluminum a little bit right there. So you'll see kind of that indent, and it's just how tight it's pulling in. It becomes water sealed. On the pop rivets, however, on the inside, they're just pop rivets. They can actually work themselves out over time, and that's normal on the inside. You'll probably buy an Airstream, if you're lucky enough to be able to get one. You probably want to have a little pop rivet kit so you can replace them as they fall out. We've replaced one so far in our ownership of owning it. So it takes Airstream about 8 hours. Now 24.5, which is kind of a random thing, but mid-year 24, Airstream decided to upgrade every Airstream and go to this new black lock. That's except for the Bambi and Caravelle. They didn't get this until 25. But 24.5 and then now 25 has this. I'm hoping that they will go to a chrome version of this, because I'm not a fan of the black here. I don't think, what do you think, Laura? No? Yes?
The chrome looks better.
Chrome looks better. But it won't lock you out now, which is super nice. You got a new mechanical, you got a new latch here. The old latch was kind of like an alligator teeth, alligator mouth, but it had two latches, like two things that you had to push it in and then push it in again to get it to shut. This is not that way. You can actually just shut it. You still have the deadbolt here. You still do not want to shut the door with the deadbolt out, because it will break that deadbolt. There does look like there's a little bit of extra support around there, but we've already replaced them. So yeah, make sure that's not out. The other thing too that they've changed for 25 is they added these blue stickers that you have to take off when you purchase your new Airstream, but it basically says they want you to lock the door in travel. If you're going to travel down the road, lock the door. And then on your screen door, you got this new door latch here for 2024 versus continuing to 25. I really like it. It works really well. It's not easy. It was just to shut that. We can't do that on ours. Right there. You do want to have the screen door connected to the main door before you shut the door. And then what was the other thing I want to say? Oh yeah. This has got to be.
This is what Chad is most excited about.
The best update for 25. They were using a double-sided sticker to hold this little Airstream logo on. They've now went to what seems to be a glob of silicone, which is cheap but super effective because every single one of these fell off. I mean, they would fall off before they even got to the customer for delivery. So far they're sticking on quite well. Laura's going to go onto the camper. We start the inside walk. I'm going to take my shoes off because I'm going to be on the sofas and the couch and the bed. All right, so we are finally inside. I finally stopped talking about the door. We're inside the 27-foot Flying Cloud. And remember, this is one of Airstream's top-selling floor plans. Oh, these aren't open.
Well, we left those closed because the sun is coming in that side.
Then I'll leave it shut. I'll leave it closed. But you have the panoramic window going around. Now with the hatch, one of the things that's going to change inside, so we've already talked about that, or we'll talk about that a little bit more on the outside when we do the outside walk. But you have kind of this shadow box. You know, they have to build this in some way, right? Really more so, I guess, just for the screen to have a place to go up and down. You have this extra shadow box. Where that comes into play is when you go to sit like this. If you're gonna sit there and like Laura and I like to sit like this because we'll watch TV at night, you know, whatever, whenever it might be. But you've got this sticking out. When that's not there, you can just lean up against the side of the RV. So it's just something to take into consideration if you want the hatch, if you're looking for the hatch. The other thing is it does change. You actually see the cushion, how it's cut different, because it has to kind of come around that shadow box for the hatch. Now, the other thing is when you do the hatch, you're going to get the wobbly table. That's our second word that is unique to the RV industry. So this table is going to be a little bit wobbly. The truth is, they're all fairly wobbly. Every table in an RV, at least in an Airstream, is fairly wobbly. This is extra wobbly just because of the nature of the two legs down here. With the non-hatch version, the table actually connects to the wall. So you have two connection points, and then there's one single leg that goes down. That table is also, I think it's skinnier than this one. This feels wider to me.
It does feel wider, but I don't know if it feels wider because it's
shorter. It's probably wider, yeah, because it still has to sit down here just like the others. Now this will go down and make into a bed, and we'll show you that in a second. And then the sofa there that Laura is sitting on currently will also make into a bed. Now we got a new LED light here for 2024, which of course carried into 25. The switch for that, if you're wondering, is right there. It's kind of like a touch switch. We also have these little reading lights that are LED, and we've got our speakers, JL audio speakers, in the not optimal place. Airstream, move them up here. Just move them up here. And then we've got our JL receiver right here. Now that is going to have AM, FM radio. It's also going to have Bluetooth so that you're able to connect your phone to it. Two zones, so you have a living room area zone and a bedroom area zone. And there is a subwoofer that is right here. So whoever sits in this seat gets to have a little massage when you're playing the radio. And then up in the storage area, we do have some good storage up here. We have these soft closed hinges that you only get on the Flying Cloud and the
Classic.
Good job. And we have USB that connects to the back of the radio. We've got the RJ45 connector on the inside here, so you can plug Starlink into that. Now, if you're wondering which Starlink you should get, I would recommend the Gen 3 version because it already has the RJ45 connector on it, and it makes it a lot easier to make that work with this setup. And then we've got the HDMI input right there. That's going to connect to both TVs. A inverted circuit, so you can plug in your Starlink there, or if you want to put a DVD player here, you can do that, or a Apple TV, Roku, whatever you might want to do, you can do that. And then this black cover here is going to be the power for your HD antenna, which is currently turned on. And you can turn that off. Now, if you have that turned on at night, you're going to see a red glow coming down from that HD antenna. Makes it look like it's taking off at night, and that's just the HD antenna. We did get a new remote for the TVs this year. Aren't these cool?
It looks like a modern remote.
It looks like a modern remote
from 20 years ago.
the remotes of yesteryear did look like they were from 20 years ago. You have Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus already on the remote, which is nice, and Sling. Not sure who uses Sling. And then you can just hit apps, and that will bring up all the different apps. You can download things like Apple TV. We like Apple TV, or Apple TV. I guess you can download that app. YouTube TV. We use YouTube TV in our house, and it works on these TVs. I've downloaded it and messed with it a little bit as well. And then you do have, since it's up here, we'll show it. The backup.
We never get to show this.
We never show the backup camera, do we? So you do get a standard backup camera. I didn't point that out on the outside. I need to make sure I do that in the future. We got the backup camera. This is just the suction cup for the windshield, the little bracket that it can go into, and then the absolutely massive, unnecessarily massive screen that they give you. Not to complain about them, making something bigger and better, but ours is small, like it's like that big, and it's perfectly sufficient. But you get that. That's standard with the Airstream. You believe, and if you bought this setup from the parts store, it'd be like $1,500.
But it's standard.
But it's standard. Well, you got to pay $120,000 for the Airstream. So, all right. So that's the backup camera. Put that up there. And then as far as storage goes, we've got a nice little pull out here. There's also good room kind of back under here for putting your shoes. And then over here, we're going to have a pull down right there. And then Laura has one under her that should have a couple of containers.
A little bit lower.
Yep, a couple of containers. These do come with your Airstream. So if you're buying a new Airstream, these are not in it, you need to ask for them because someone's stole your Rubbermaid containers. And then on the TV's a little crooked. There we go. We did get an upgraded TV for 2025. It's a new bezel-less TV. There is a nice metal accent here at the bottom, which I think fits the Airstream very well. And then you just got a few connections here. You got your HDMI, your coaxial input. There is still a inverted circuit here, so if you wanted to plug in power, you could do that. And there, the other one, we didn't show that, is down there. That circuit down there at the table, it's also on the inverter. Again, it comes with a standard 2,000 watt inverter, so you can run things like your laptop, stuff like that. I don't know if you could do a coffee maker. Maybe like a small Keurig, maybe you could do that. And then you've got your thermostat controller for your air conditioner. Remember, we did upgrade to the GE in 24. They've been pretty good. I mean, they've been good. We're not getting a ton of them back for replacement, for repairs and stuff. We are getting some back, but it's not. It's been a good air conditioner. I almost wanted to put one in ours, but then the warranty company told me I couldn't. I had to put a Coleman. So we got a little bit of storage up there. Moving towards the kitchen, we've got good storage up here. With this being the 27 foot, 27 and 25 are kind of the most cross-shopped. So we got storage up here, lots of storage on the 27. This is actually going to be longer on the 27 versus the 25. The 25, these are basically the same size as just two of these. So it'd be like right there. Okay. And then underneath we're going to have our sea level 2. This is going to give you a battery reading, fresh tank, in percentage, gray and black, and then you have your water pump right there. Now, one of the cool upgrades for 2025, well, 24 and a half, but it's important to say, they did add the little silencer to the water pump, so like it didn't just kick on and start making noise. That's a nice upgrade on the water pump that you got in 24 and a half. On 25, we got a new update. So we got the controller here for your 2,000 watt inverter. Down below over here, we're going to show you this area. So we got some lights here. They're not labeled, so you just have to figure it out. And eventually you'll get used to it. So this is going to be your awning here. That's going to be your inside lights. Sometimes it gets switched. It just depends on which, who built yours and what day they built it. This will be the outside step. Down here is going to be your battery disconnect. And this is connected back to a remote solenoid that's right behind, generally right behind the power box. And that's going to flip your 12 volt power on and off. So you can turn that off. If you have 110 power coming in, you'll still have 110 power. You just won't have 12 volt power. You need to flip that switch on. A change for 2025 is that switch is now connected to your inverter. So when you turn off the battery disconnect, it will also turn your inverter off in the event that you had it on and left it on. Previously, if you turn the battery disconnect off, but the inverter was on, it would stay on, and then it would run your batteries dead. So kind of a nice upgrade for 25. Coming down, we're going to have our stainless steel sink. It is dampened. And then we've got the residential style faucet. You know why we know this is residential?
Because it's in our residence?
It's in our residence. It's in our house, which cracks me up every time I see it. And you do get this nice cover here, which I guess could be a cutting board too. Except for they put the hole right in the middle. I almost kind of wish they put the hole like here. Not to critique Airstream a whole lot, but then you've got the trash can there. We do have some storage. Now, one of the things that I want to do on ours that I actually would like to see Airstream move to in the future is those faucets where the like this part of it comes up through like a spring, and then you just pull it off and do your thing, so you don't have to have the extra hose down here. You can also DIY that, And then up front, we're going to have really nice storage here under the sink. You do watch out for your drains there, and then storage underneath. And you can access the trash can here, so you can throw that trash in there if you want to. The trash can, as Laura pointed out earlier, that is in kind of a unique spot, but it is nice for when you're outside. It'd be easy to get to when you're outside. You are going to have a little bit more, and I mean little bit more counter space here versus the 25 foot. You can actually see it in the size of the drawer. The drawer on the 25 is going to be about like right there. But you get a nice you get larger drawers, you get a little bit more counter space, which, if we had a 27, we could almost bring our coffee maker with us. So not saying that we're getting a 27. We're not. So 3 full extension drawers, and this is just going to be a little door that folds down. A little bit of storage there, and a little bit of storage here. And then this has the standard microwave and oven, which I don't get to see a lot of, because for the most part, if we're bringing it in as stock inventory that we're going to put on the lot to sell, is usually going to have a convection microwave. And then generally speaking, most people order a convection microwave. But this one was optioned to have the standard microwave, which you're going to have, and this cool little pull out that does have a little switch back there. So when you close it.
Oh, is that why it beeps every time you open it?
Yeah. So that way, when it's closed and put away, you can't accidentally leave it on. Although I could totally see the benefit in throwing something in here, hitting it in the microwave, pushing it out of the way, and letting it do its thing. But I'm guessing that's not recommended. So
probably not great for the microwave to be in there while running.
Probably not. So it does have it's actually screwed in place, so it shouldn't just come out on you, which is nice. And then below that, you're going to have your pantry. If you do the convection microwave, you're not going to have the oven right here. Instead, you'll have just a convection and microwave combo in this area, and then the pantry is going to get an extra shelf about right here, and it will be one large pantry. That is the reason I think for a lot of folks going towards the optional convection microwave, because you get more pantry here. But I mean, look at all of the storage that you actually have in the kitchen of a 27 with a microwave.
Just showing all of it.
I mean, What are you taking with you that this isn't enough storage? Now, granted, I say that as two people who can't figure out how to fill up their 25 foot. So I realize
I've only done like a 4-day trip.
Yeah, I realize that everybody's camping style is different, but there's just a ton of storage in here. All right, show the fridge and then we'll show the beds.
Okay.
So we can kind of at least somewhat conclude the kitchen part. Okay, so on the 27, 8.1 cubic foot, 12 volt refrigerator, so you're not gonna have the little fins up there. You'll actually, it's a little bit deeper, so you're gonna get more space and be able to put more stuff into it. The other benefit to it being a 12 volt fridge is it will cool down faster, so about 45 minutes to an hour. This will be at temp and you can actually start using it. Whereas with our propane fridge, I think 8, 9, 10 hours, and then you gotta leave it on. You cannot turn it off because it will just immediately start warming up. So it is a better fridge in that sense. It does have a night mode up here, so if you're boondocking and you need to conserve some energy, you can click the night mode on as well, and then you can set the temperature. And there is an on-off function, which I really like. Again, if you're gonna boondock, you're just not gonna use the refrigerator at all, you can turn that off and save that 12 volt energy. But this does not have to go through an inverter to cool. It goes directly to your 12 volt battery, so you're not having to use an inverter and wasting that power, and it's not connected to propane either. So, sofa. As far as making this into a bed, so that's gonna pull out. And I like to pull these guys there. So you have the bigger ones kind of towards the edge. And then this pulls off.
Ow.
There. And then push down into there. Ooh. There. And, you know, it's crazy that we haven't talked about this yet. When we get to the front, I have a family that they have 3 boys, which bless their heart, 3 boys. I'm just gonna take a nap. They sleep here. I wonder if they put that down. They watch the video, so you guys tell us how, if you want to, how you do it with you guys sleeping up here and the boys sleeping down there. But you can sleep here, and I do like here you can sleep and you're not in the crack of the cushions. That's not bad. That's not bad, I could do it. And then this right here, the little support for the back, can go down right there. Now for the hatch part, you gotta get these things to disconnect. I think they got the hatch too. This is like their camper. I wonder if they got a convection microwave. I have to go back and look. So those, put that there. It's convenient. These kind of unscrew. There is a little T connection there. You want that all the way out, and then it just goes in. You just start screwing, and it will get tight. And tighten as, you know, within reason as much as you can to try to help it not wobble. And that right there. And in the closet, we'll show you this in a second, once we get there. But there's a spot for you to clip these in place in the closet so they can be, you know, out of the way and not rolling around on the floor. And then this. It's actually easier to do this without this here. I did it backwards. There, it's in place. That goes there. That goes there. These can store down here. And now, wow, look at like that space. It's huge. Should not be out of breath from putting the bed down. Okay, so almost at the the edge here. I've got lots of room for my toes down there. Now, with the hatch, you're gonna have a little bit less space here because the hatch is gonna come into it a little bit, you know, somewhat impede it. And the non-hatch, this is actually quite a bit large, you know, I mean, it's not
a few inches.
4 inches there, right? And then the nice thing is, I'm gonna have Laura stand up. And I'm gonna lay down here. So if you are gonna bring 6 people with you, you can lay here. And my feet don't go into the dinette area. I'm 5'10". So if you have 4 kids here, you can easily put 4 kids, man, put 6, 7, 8 kids here. If you want to, but you could. And then to put it back up, I'm gonna do this first because it's actually easier to put the dinette up when this is not in the way. So pull these up, push that back in place, push that back in place. And then this goes there. Boom. That's in place. Now, with the non-hatch version, the table, and if you watch my videos, you see me do this. The table just sits right down, and when you're done, you just pick it up, latch it in place, drop the leg, you're done. So doing this part on the non-hatch version is a little bit easier, a little bit, not a ton, like that much easier, not that much easier. That makes sense. All right, so that goes right there. Boom. This little guy goes here. And then we grab our legs in order to keep your tee out. Just like that, up close to the tee. Right there. So that's going to go down into that slot. Turn it in place. And then take the table. Just kind of set it in place. That's all it takes. It's that easy.
All right, let's show the other beds now.
No, we got to show the wardrobe now.
Oh, I'm skipping over whole things.
Okay.
Skip to the middle.
So now we're back to the middle. So we've got double wardrobe on the 27, whereas the 25 you'll have a single wardrobe. There's a little connectors there for you to store those poles when you're not using it, which I think for the most part people are just gonna put them on the floor somewhere. And then as far as the shower goes, oh wait, you do have a curtain here. And this will let you separate the bathroom area from the front and the bedroom area from the front. Right there. What do you think of the curtain?
You know I like the curtain more than the accordion door.
I know, that's why I asked.
It looks nicer.
They don't know that. We do have skylights. We didn't talk about that. We'll talk about that in a second.
You remember the word though.
And then you have another curtain right here. So you can have, like, if you do have kids that, you know, up there or back here, wherever, you can have this at night to give yourself a little bit of privacy. I would say I feel like the accordion doors that we have on ours feels more substantial.
Well, yeah, they're not fabric.
And they are, but they aren't. Anyway, you have the curtains. I do like the curtains. The curtains are nice. Now on the 25, you can actually kind of connect this door with the wardrobe door. I guess you can kind of do it this way. There you go. That would work. You like that? You like that on ours? Yeah. All right. So shower. Stepping into the shower. Now there is a small step in. You see there, a little bit of a step to get in, and then there's plenty of room in here. You guys, you know, if you're watching the channel, you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. But you've seen me in a lot of showers. There's, you know, I have no shoes on this time, so you can really see. What's that, like 3 inches there?
More than 3.
I mean, it's quite a bit of space there. So at least 6 foot can fit in here. I'm 5'10". You've got the little clothesline that pulls across. Of course, you have the magic wand. What do you call this?
Shower head.
Shower head, removable shower head. And that's really, for me, what makes this work. Is I don't need to move around the shower. I can just use that. But you have space to stand. Could this be better? Yes. I would love to see them to go to a like seat here that doesn't have anything under it, the way the 23-foot shower is, so that you could at least put your feet under it. Now, as far as the lock here, so you do have a lock, but you also have you can actually turn it on the inside, so your partner can't lock you in the shower. That's important.
Does ours have that?
Yeah.
Oh, never noticed it.
You can't lock me in the shower.
I've not tried.
And then the bathroom, we're gonna have lots of storage. So storage down here, and storage there.
And your toilet paper.
On both sides, toilet paper holder is gonna be down here, which is, you know, it's kind of an odd spot for it to be, but I like that spot because it's not, you don't have to open a door and move your leg out of the way. That would be a nice spot right there for toilet paper. But then it would probably get in the way, you know, stuff that you put in there. But you have good storage under there. We have a stainless steel surface mounted sink here. The same plywood countertops that's in the kitchen, you're also going to find in here. We've got the mirror with a little bit of storage behind it. Would you like a shelf in here?
No.
No, you like it like this? Okay. And then we've got another little shelf down here. And we'd have Laura found these great little containers that fit in here like perfect. And then we've got a shower towel rod here. We've got a wash towel rag holder there. And then this is going to be your controls for your tankless water heater. And again, you're just going to set these for the desired temperature that you want to take the shower in. And then just turn the hot water on when you take your shower. Let it get to the hot water and you'll have great hot water while you're taking your shower. This is the only mirror that's here.
But you could easily put a mirror here if you wanted a full-length mirror.
That would be, yeah, great spot for a full-length mirror right there. And then they did go to a new door handle. Do you know that?
Yeah, it's magnetic.
It's magnetic.
Look at it. So there's no latch that you see.
Like a magnet.
And you could probably see it when we closed it. It pulls it across.
Yep. All right, so moving into the bedroom. Now, it's a twin bed option. Laura and I really are fans of the twin beds. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to let you buy a queen bed. You know, that's your style, what's going to fit your lifestyle. You need to get what's right for you. Give you some reasons why I do like the twin bed option. One is the fact that I could just stand in this room. This is now a room that can be used to get dressed in, to change clothes in. If you're entertaining, this could almost be another sitting area for people to hang out, especially if it's you have bad weather outside. That's a big part of why I like it. Now, if you do the queen bed on the 27-foot, it is going to be north-south. If you go to a 25-foot floor plan, it's going to be east to west. And the east to west floor plan, you know, that one is a really good floor plan to consider twin beds. You just kind of figure out what you want to do. Now, with the two twin beds, it's essentially, you know, king bed spread apart. That's why we like it, because we sleep in a king bed at home. And these mattresses are so much better than ours.
I tell you, we could just swap them out, wrap ours in plastic, no one would know.
I think someone would know.
We wouldn't do that.
No, would not do that. But nice, comfortable bed. We do have reading lights under here. We have the speakers that face down. You know, I didn't even talk about the fact that this has a bunk in it. How did I not even talk about that? This has the front bunk, which we don't see often. Now, the thing about the front bunk, it is deeper, so it's going to come out quite a bit further than when you do just the cabinets up here. The other thing about the front bunk, you can actually fit more stuff up here. Like if you're looking for storage, that's 200 pounds. So, no, I'm not getting up there. But you gotta put 200 pounds as your load capacity. But if you got some like nice containers or little baskets, you could really use this for long-term storage. If you're full timing and you need to have that extra space, this might be a good option for the storage. not just for the bed. Now, as far as the bed goes, it does go back deep, but the bed starts to curve a little bit. So I would really consider this to be, I don't know, what's someone about this tall, like age-wise, like 8?
6 or 7, 8.
Somewhere around there, or younger.
Or like a very tiny 12-year-old.
A tiny 12-year-old would work. But, you know, it does curve down all on both corners and then towards the back. So just something to consider, but it's nice that it's an option. I do think that it would work really good for extra storage as an option like that. Of course, you have the cabinets. If you have those up there, you'd have the lockers.
And before we move on, mention your customers that you started talking back there.
Oh, yeah. So they have 3 boys. And their idea was, instead of them sleeping up here, they did the twin bed with the bunk. So the boys can sleep up here. They close the curtain off. They sleep up there on that, you know, how you saw me laying up there. They get up in the morning. They can make their coffee. They can hang out in the morning. The boys, of course, are going to sleep in. They're on vacation. They're going to sleep probably, 15 hours. So they're up here out of the way. They don't have to get them and move them up here. They're just already up here. So this is kind of their space for when they're sleeping, and they sleep up there. So something that's unique. They're the only folks I know of so far that's doing that. But it was a unique idea, and they, had them get a 27-foot flying cloud. And from what I know, they love it. I just talked to them about a week ago. So you got the bunk there. There's a ladder down here. So you do have a ladder to be able to access this. And you can do this with a queen bed. It's just a little bit different with the queen bed options. You don't have this space here. Now we do have wardrobes on each side. You can take these shelves out or leave the shelves in. We have the shelves in on ours. And you got it on this side. And if you go for the 25-foot floor plan and you do twin beds, you only get one of the wardrobes. It's the one on this side. And if you go with the queen bed, you still have the wardrobe, but you get a couple extra drawers below there. Now with the 27-foot, there's some extra space here. So you can store some stuff there if you want to, right there. On the 25, it's going to go up against that wall. And then we do have good storage below with the little pull-out containers. Now, these do not fit. I'm not going to say that's by design, but that is how it is. And then on the other side, we've got 2 pull-out containers. And then for the center here, now we never show this stuff because it's usually in the box. But this would be your comforters for your 2 twin beds. And then if you have a single queen bed, you just have one. And then your pillows, all of your throw pillows. What do I say about throw pillows?
Throw them on the floor.
Throw them away. I'm kidding. I know throw pillows are important. This drawer is huge.
That's how big ours is.
So you have a nice large drawer right here and a nice large spot, nightstand here. You've got some space in between. They actually made this wider. There is on both sides your USB, both Type A and Type C. I want to put these in our camper. And then up here, we'll have our 110 socket. Now that's only going to be, it's only going to have power when you're plugged into 110 power on this floor plan. If you go for a 25 trade twins, they all work. And then over here, you're going to have your smaller, I think it's 24-inch, still bezel-less with a nice accent across the bottom. Your TV there's 12-volt smart TV, same as what's in front. We've got our second AC control right there. Now, the second AC is an option on the 27-foot flying cloud. I highly, highly recommend it. Even if you're up north, get the second AC. Don't do just one. Get the second AC. You'll thank me when you go to sell it. It'll be a lot easier to sell it with a second AC. Does mean that you're going to lose your vent up here. You won't have the max vent there because you got the AC unit. You have your light switch for the bedroom right there, and it is dimmable, so you can dim that switch. And then below, we're going to have some of your power and sockets and stuff, plugs for the TV, but there is an inverted circuit right there. So if you did need to use, say, a CPAP or something like that at night, you could plug it in there. There's also, from out here, thank you for those on the community on YouTube that tell me things I don't know. There's now a USB style CPAP.
Oh.
Yeah, so 12-volt CPAP, so you're able to use USB, and then you're good to go at that point. So that's really cool. Again, if you don't have this, You'll just have the cabinet up here. Speakers will still be down here. You'll still have the lights right there. Your pillows come with it. And then you have the panoramic up here, panoramic room. Now I will say, when we camp, now we've mostly camped in like RV parks and stuff. These pretty much stay shut the whole time because this is the bedroom. It's kind of weird that it would be open, but if we were camping in the middle of nowhere, BLM land or something like that, I could totally see this being open and just the incredible, view that you would have. But both windows on each side open, so you can get some really good cross ventilation through this area. Let me talk about the roof for a second. So AC unit there, and that does have, I think it's a MERV 8 filter up in there, and then you've got the little black filter. So there's a nice filter there. The previous version of this, there's basically like a thin piece of cloth or something. That was the filter. If you don't get the second AC, that would be a second vent that you could have and utilize. In the middle here, we do have a really nice long skylight. And then we've got our main AC unit. So this will be a 15,000 BTU. The front and second optioned AC is a 13.5. And then we have our second and larger skylight here in the kitchen area. And then of course our max vent that does have the rain sensor on it as well. You basically just hit it, press the on button, and it will open. There is a button here to turn on the rain sensor. So if you want to have that turned on, you want to make sure you do turn that on. So right now it's off and it's on. We can close the lid there. You can also set a temperature here. So if it gets over 78 degrees, it'll automatically open that up and start blowing out. Now this is only an exhaust fan. It doesn't blow air in. You can only blow air out. Airstream does that on purpose. They say it is because they figured people don't want to pull in the exhaust of the plumbing that's also going up to the top. And then if you want to close it, just hit the off button and it's closed. Very simple. So I think that's everything on the inside. If I missed anything, I know you'll tell me in the comments, so we'll know next time. Let's go outside, show you the outside, and we'll show you the top and the bottom. Let's go do that now. Now we're outside. Of course, we'll do the top and the bottom here in a second. Starting on the outside with the Flying Cloud, we are going to have the rock guard standard. So this outer part here, if you don't know this already, this is going to be stainless steel rock guard. Behind it is the traditional Alcoa aluminum that you're used to seeing on an Airstream. Now, if you're wondering why Airstreams aren't shiny and the old ones are shiny, that's because we now have a clear coating on the aluminum. Alcoa puts it on the straight pieces here like this. It comes straight from Alcoa. It has a clear plastic coating on it to protect it. Under that, you're gonna have the clear coat in the metal. Once they fabricate it, they put it all together, put all the rivets in. They then peel the plastic sticker off. That is why when you buy a brand new Airstream, there's little bits and pieces of plastic everywhere, because every single piece of metal that's on this Airstream at some point had plastic on the outside and the inside to protect it during manufacturing. Now the solar guards up top, these are also standard on the Flying Cloud. And this is just basically a plastic, but it is a fairly strong plastic. And again, it's protecting what's underneath, which is going to be your actual glass windows. The curved windows are also glass, which is just so cool that Airstreams does that. But on the front, to protect from rocks, these are up here. Now this center one opens, as you can see, fairly easy. And this is to give you access to the center window that also opens. The outer ones will open, but that's more so just for cleaning. So there are 2 screws here on each one. They're a little quarter turn screw. Turn those and then you can open these. Now, if you ever see Laura and I's Airstream in person, you're gonna notice some nice, very straight creases on the backside of the solar guards. And that is because if they catch wind and they swing open, they will dent right there. We did not do that. Not that I have any way to prove that, but we didn't do it. Under this nice cover is going to be your 2 30-pound propane tanks.
Come this side.
There's also an auto transfer over deal here on the regulator. So you can leave it down. So you can leave it just straight down like that. Turn both on. When this one runs out, it'll switch over to that one. It will run out. The downside to that is you don't know when you're completely out unless you have some device that will tell you what your levels are. What I like to tell people to do initially is just pick a side. So I've got it pointed at this one. So it's using this one. When this runs out, you're going to run out of propane. So you'll know, and you can come out, turn this one on, and you know you're down to one bottle of propane. Now you find these QR codes all throughout the Airstream, and that QR code is going to take you to Airstream's owner's page that will give you all kinds of videos to talk about your Airstream, to help you use it, understand it, because you're probably going to have, if you buy a brand new one, you've never owned an RV, you've never owned an Airstream, when you get done with your demo with the technician, you're going to be overwhelmed and forget half of what he said. So it's nice that Airstream has videos out there for you to keep learning as you're traveling in your Airstream. Now under here we have the optional lithium battery package, the 200 amp hour battle worn batteries. These are the heated batteries. That's an option. You could do it without that and put something like AGM in, or even put the lead acid in, which would save quite a bit of money. Now we've got on the twin bed this really nice storage in the front. It does have a light which is on. If you do the queen bed, that's going to be your only outside storage for the queen bed. But the twin bed, we get some extra storage, which we'll show you here in a second. Now where Laura's standing, you're going to see your low pressure LP connection, and that is great for grills that don't have regulators on it. We have a Weber grill that I connect to it, and it's fantastic because you can just use the propane you have. You don't have to bring extra propane with you. There's also a solar connection here, so you can extend your solar package out. Now that's going to be a suitcase style solar panel, so you'll need one that has a solar charge controller on it. That's going to connect directly to the batteries. They're not going to wire it into the actual solar charge controller because it would change voltage and amperage depending on what you put onto it. So that's a no-go. And then you have your spare tire in the front. You do get a spare tire. We'll show you that in a second when we get underneath. But you get a spare tire with the Airstreams. And then with the twin bed, we're going to also get some storage up here in the front. Now Laura's giving you a sight of the whole side of the RV. Now this does have the manual Zipty awning on it, and we do have a really good video that gives you all the tricks and tips for using the Zipty manual awning. We'll link that above. Now with the twin bed, you get a huge storage up here. And this is one thing that I will say that I wish I had over our 25 foot, because this door is huge. The 25 is so much smaller. The amount of extra space you can put in there. And then for me, this is kind of my area for when we camp. I have the Weber right there. I've got the Traeger right here, and then the little associated tables. And then this becomes like a table and storage area for cooking, and having that extra door would be phenomenal.
Do you know, you mentioned using that door as a table. Do you know how much weight it can hold?
It's not labeled, so they would probably say 30 pounds.
I just don't want somebody using, like, setting their grill on it and
no, don't do that. No.
Getting mad that you told them it was a table.
No, like I just set like utensils on it, not heavy things. You have the Girard tankless water heater here. Love it or hate it, it is what we get for 2025. It is tankless. You're going to set the temperature, and I'll probably talk about this a little bit more on the inside, but set the temperature to your desired shower temperature, and then just turn the hot water on. Don't try to mix it like we do the old school ones. There's an on-off switch out here. That is for really storage and winterization. You can flip that off, so when you turn the water on and you're running fluid through it for winterization, it's not trying to go through here. And there is a bypass valve on the inside, as well as a winterization kit. We never talk about that, but there is a winterization kit in there that allows you to make the water pump your fluid through it. We got power there, as you can tell. Now this one, as we mentioned in the quick walk, and if you're like, Chad, you are talking way too much, I just want to see the Airstream, go look at the quick walk video. That one's way shorter. I talk a little bit less. I still talk too much, but I talk less. Now this one, as I mentioned in that video, it already has the 3-inch lift kit on it. That is because the customer that wants this one, that was getting this one, wanted the 3-inch lift kit. Now this one actually is available currently for reasons that obviously I'm not going to say. They decided not to get it. So this one is available. You have the 3-inch lift already installed, which is phenomenal. Now the 27 foot, the 28 down, I don't necessarily think you need to get the lift kit. If you know you're going to do some West Coast traveling, you're going to go out to the Midwest, or you live in the mountainous areas of your state, you may want it just to give you a little bit more room for departure and entrance angles. Now, if you go to a 30 foot and you're getting a 30 RB or something like that, it's almost a must. Like at that point, Airstream should just send it from the factory with a 3-inch lift kit already on it, because you're going to scrape at some point. But we've not scraped our 25 so far. We also have not been out in the Midwest, so you know, there you go. 3-inch lift kit's already installed. We've got the port windows here on the 27 front bed. You actually do have a vent over the stove that does vent to the outside. There are 2 little tabs there that you do have to open for that to work and function properly. Now we have the aluminum step for Airstream. I found out by watching one of the videos of, you know, other people out there. You know, there's other people that make videos about Airstreams. I don't watch those videos.
You're not the only one?
No, I'm not the only one. And there's people out there that are better at this than I am. But I was watching the video and I discovered that this came about around 2016, if I'm remembering correctly from watching that video. These new steps, they were using a steel step before that. Can you imagine a steel step on an Airstream? I mean, it's like sacrilegious. All right, so to do this step, kind of the first thing is you're going to fold these arms down. Now the key here is you always want this flipping around and facing upward. Sure why that was so difficult. Oh. And it was just me. Okay. And then you can use it as a step. One of the things I like about this step is you can bring it out kind of the first level, and that's a step. If for whatever reason it was high enough here, you didn't need the extra step. Now to put this away, it's just one simple motion. It's you pull out and then in, up, out, in, up. Does that make sense? All right,
show us.
Show you. All right, so I'm gonna pull back. So I've unlatched the latch, and then I'm gonna push forward and then up. So bring it out, forward and up. And then the first time you're gonna do it, it looks so easy on there. What? How is it so easy for Chad? Well, there we go. Struggling.
How is it so easy for you, Chad?
It wasn't.
Tell me.
My point is, the more times you do it, the easier it will get. That was the whole point of that. And then it had to go all floppy on me. That's also a specific RV term, floppy.
Wobbly and floppy?
Wobbly and floppy. We haven't talked about wobbly yet. We'll do that on the inside. Now, as far as this particular forward plane, it does have the hatch option. Again, that's an option. You don't have to get the hatch. And if you don't get the hatch, you're not going to get this cool bumper cover, which basically turns this into a step. They do add on this one a little bit of extra support, so you can step on it and not just crush it. So that's kind of nice. And
you can, if you love the look of this bumper cover, you can order this.
You can. I think we have a few in stock. I want one on ours. Yeah, these things look $100.
They look really cool though.
I don't know if they look $100 cool. Now, with the Flying Cloud, the window awning package is a option. Once you get to international, it becomes standard. It is one of those things where we don't order them for stock without it. So if you're custom ordering a Flying Cloud, like you're going to get your specific options and color and all that kind of stuff, I would highly recommend get the awning package. It's cheaper to get it at the factory than to have the dealership added on, and it's something that most people are going to look for if you end up reselling it. So now this is because the 3-inch lift on it, so it gets a little tall. So you've got the back window awning. Now you can't have this out and open the hatch, but you can have this out and open the window. And then we just kind of bring these around, and they sit right in their little cubby right there. Like that. And
the window awnings really make a difference with temperature control in your unit.
They do, and they look cool. I think that's why most people get them, because they look cool. Not the logical reason for it helps with temperature, but like a day like today, the sun's like back that way, so this is going to cover the sun kind of hitting that window there. It is nice. It looks cool, and you know, a lot of times when we go to rallies, people they set up, leave these out the whole time. I don't recommend that. Especially not the patio awning. That is a sunshade. You do not want to leave that out unless you're under it and it's not raining and it's not windy. Now, as far as the hatch goes, let me put this back. So I kind of showed that. It just Velcros up there. Pull this back around. And I like to show the good folks this. So I like to put it right behind the acorn nut. and it will kind of stay there while you're driving. It gets it out of the way and keeps it bouncing around. Now I do like this latch that Airstream chose to use. It really does, like they say Airstream's doors are the vault doors of the RV industry. That actually feels like a vault door. Like, it's so cool feeling. You do have a separate key out here to lock this door, so you can lock this door. I don't think you can unlock it. No, you can't unlock it from the inside. You can open it from the inside if you can reach it, but you can't lock it or unlock it. Oh, hey, remember that plastic I was talking about?
Oh yeah.
There you go. It's just like unwrapping a brand new iPhone. Not quite as satisfying. Now you do get a screen that pulls down, so you can there we go. Have this open. You know, like today's a nice day out. It's not, you know, outside it's not that hot. When we first came into the camper, it was a little warm. We turned the AC on to cool it down a little bit. But today would be a perfect day to have this down, have all your windows open, have your max air fans, you know, pulling air through. You have a ton of fresh air coming through the camper. In the spring, you can have all the pollen coming through, so it would be, you know, also super nice. I don't feel like Laura and I would ever use this because I have allergies. But it is one of those things that's really cool. It's been a sought after option for Flying Cloud in the international. So it's very cool. I think it's $7,600 option now for the Flying Cloud. You're gonna ask a question?
I was gonna say, people who have the hatch love the hatch.
Yeah, I think so.
We always get comments from people about how much they love having a hatch.
If you have a hatch and you're watching this video, tell everybody why they should get the hatch in the comments. Because I go back and forth on it. What do you think?
I think overall we would not use it
enough
that
to
much.
Enough to justify it. I don't know. It also depends on where you're camping, because a lot of Airstream buyers, I'm gonna put this back up. You know, RV buyers, just in general, they're chasing nice weather. Mm-hmm. So they're, you know, a lot of their RVing season, they're gonna be in spots where they would have, you know, nice weather and actually be able to use it. Where you, like we camp, I call it the bookends. We camp at the beginning and end of summer, not in summer, because unfortunately for Laura, she had to marry somebody in the RV industry. So, or fortunately.
Fortunately, I would say fortunately.
So this is the business side of the Flying Cloud 27, or the road side as people like to call it, or the industry calls it. I like to call it the business side because this is where we're going to do all the stuff at. We do have these two windows that open. I would say to some degree this is one of the downsides to this floor plan, is your two large windows are actually on the roadside. So say you're parked, you know, in rows at a campground and the other person's campground is right here. You're going to be, you know, looking out onto their campsite, not yours. The 28 RB floor plan for the Flying Cloud moves these two large windows to the other side. So your two big windows are over top of the dinette and they're looking out over your campsite. So depending on where you're going to camp and how you camp, I think Airstreams are kind of built for that ideal location where there's no one around you and you're out in the middle of nowhere, like BLM land, or you're boondocking somewhere. So it doesn't matter. You can just have all the windows open and nobody sees you. But that's not necessarily always the case for where you're going to go camping. We do have the furnace down here. It is a propane furnace. Now with an Airstream Flying Cloud, you do have the heat pump option, or heat pump standard in your GE air conditioners. So you can use those down to about 40 degrees or so for heat. And then once you get past that, you're going to switch over to the propane furnace. Now we do have the smart plug. It's the 50 amp version of it, of course, because we have the two ACs. Now the reason this is important, or why it's a cool option or cool thing that Airstream gives you, is how easy it is. Large truck, big truck. It is to unplug it. I just squeeze these tabs and pull out, and it's out, and then pop it right back in, and it's in. Like it's that easy. And if you don't want to deal with the twisty thing, this is fantastic for that. You also get 20% more metal to metal contact with this plug, so you're going to reduce the amount of heat transfer when you're passing 50 amps of power into the coach. And then you also have your RJ45 connection. That started in 2024. Of course, it's going to continue into 2025. You can use that for Starlink. And then your coaxial input. Again, we joked about who uses that these days. Yeah, your parks don't use it anymore because most of your TV stations or your TV providers require a digital box. So every campground would have to give out the digital box to be able to provide free TV or whatever. So anyway, it's there if you need it. You can use it. We got our city fill here. So this is going to connect directly to your faucets. That's why it's separate from your potable water fill, which is behind this door. This is what's going to fill your freshwater tank, which is located directly between the two axles right there. We got our black tank flush. Now what this is, it's a hose that's plumbed down into the black tank. It goes right into the top of the black tank, and it's got a nozzle in there that has multiple outlets, and it spins around and sprays into the black tank. When you're finished at your campsite and you're all done, you're packing up, the last thing you want to do before you put everything away is flush the black tank out. And you can take a separate, not the same water hose that you use for your actual drinking water or water you use in the coach. Carry a little garden hose with you, but plug it into here, open your sewer valve, which is right down here, open that, and then let it just spray through that whole tank and wash everything out, and then put it away. This is one of those things where if you don't use it, it will clog up and you lose it. So if you don't use it, you lose it. Now something else before we move forward that I want to point out here, there is some water dripping on the tire. It doesn't have a leak. The Airstream hasn't sprung a leak. It's not even raining today. So Laura, I don't know why you keep saying that it's leaking.
I did not say that, for the record.
It's not leaking. So there's actually two little pipes. There's one right here, little hose, and then there's another one right here. So that's your back AC and then your front AC. There is a little pump up there in the little
AC unit?
Yeah, the little pan. Pan is the word I was looking for. There's a little pan and it collects water condensation off of it. There's a little pump. It pumps that water down, that condensation down and through that pipe and out on the ground. Now, a couple of things about that. If it's extremely humid outside, we get that in North Carolina, it's so humid. That thing, the AC is going to create more condensation than the pump can handle. So you may get water through that pipe as well as water down the side of the camper. The other time that you might see it is when the heat pump is running. The heat pump creates an enormous amount of condensation. And in that case, you're going to have water going out that pipe and going off the side of the RV. So learn something new every day. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. Outside shower. Laura is learning so much from being a part of these videos. I think at some point we should do a video with you doing the walk and me on the camera.
The number of random phrases that I've picked up referring to Airstream is just like...
You could do it. I think you could do it. Outside shower, hot and cold water. This is what the outside shower looks like if you're wondering. It is what it is. And then we've got our black and gray tanks here. There is a little light down here that's going to turn itself on and off. That's just they really need to get rid of this light because every single one of them shorts out and it just turns itself on and off. So we replace them all the time. Black and gray tank right there. Remember, always pull the black first, gray after. And then right here we're going to have our sewer hose storage for your sewer hose, and you can fit about a 15-foot hose in there. You can't fit a 20, at least without cramming it and forcing it in there. I guess probably could. Then we've got our other outside storage here for our storage. Remember, twin bed, you get the extra storage here that you don't get with the queen bed. You're just going to get the storage on the front. And then this front window opens as well as the window on the other side opens, so you can get some good cross breeze. If you open both of these windows and then come around and open this front window, man, you can get a really good breeze flowing through the camper with just those open and have the max fan running. We didn't talk about the awning, the window awning for this side, but you get the full length awning on the roadside, which is super nice, especially on a sunny day. This will really shade the RV. And in this one, you can just put it up and look at like how much sun is now on this side. Pull it back out, and now it's shaded. So very cool. All right.
Let's get a ladder.
Get a ladder, show the top, and we'll show the bottom. I don't need a ladder for that, but we'll show the bottom, then we'll show the top, and then we will finish the video. All right, let me just take you down below so you can see underneath the 27 foot. We've got the spare tire right there. That carrier is like super easy to use. Drops down, just kind of slides out, super nice. You got the heavy duty manual stabilizers here on the 27 foot. And you can see the propane line there. Airstream does like to keep the propane line outside the camber as much as possible, and then just turn up when it needs to go in and connect to something. We'll move kind of towards the back on this side, and I'll flip around to the other side. So you've got your gray, probably gray and black tank, I would think. And then your freshwater is going to be in between the two axles. Let me show you that one right there. There's your freshwater tank. You can see the shock there, damper for the Dexter axles. So this does have Dexter axles. I talk about that in all the videos, but they're torsion axles, so you're not going to see any leaf springs in there. It's also going to be a truly independent. All 4 tires and wheels are independent. You've got no maintenance or never adjust brakes, and then no maintenance bearings. Those are sealed bearings. You just need to check them once a year. There's a little dust cap. You knock that off and look to see if there's grease under there. And then coming around, I'll come around to the back. You can actually see the axle there. So again, no leaf springs in there. That axle is going to have a bend in it in the middle. That's normal. That's from the factory. That's how they set the camber on the tires to make sure that they're straight up and down and square. And then you can see that fully enclosed underbelly. Again, that's aluminum, so it's going to be a full aluminum wrap on an Airstream. Let me go around to the back side. Oh, there's a ladder so I can do the top for you. You can see there from the back side, looking forward, those axles again. Again, this has the 3-inch lift kit on it. And then, of course, that's a dealer add. You can't do that at the factory. You can only, like, the dealership has to do that for you. It's a dealer added option. There's that extra storage for your sewer hose. And then your black and gray tanks right there. So say the closest one to the axle is gray, and then the further one is going to be your black. Add those backwards on the other side. All right, let me go to the top and show you the top of the 27 foot. All right, so this is the top of the 27 foot flying cloud. You can see your fan there that's over kind of the dinette kitchen area, your skylight there that's over the kitchen area. There's your main GE air conditioner, again, that has the heat pump on it. It is actually larger than the outgoing Domestics that they stopped using in 2024. And you can see there towards the front, and I'll go around to the other side so you actually see that side. And one thing I wanted to mention, 2024 model year, Airstream went to a new roof line, and actually new inner ribs on this as well. You have one less joint in this area, so there used to be 2 joints there, and it kind of stepped up to get to the roof, and that was what created the space for the ducted AC. 2024, they designed a new front cap and a new rear cap that lets it come up high enough to meet that directly. So we have one sill line going across. There's a bunch of rivets under that goop of sealant going across. So just 2 less sill lines across the top there. We're also going to have an automotive stamped inner rib. Let me flip the camera around. So you got an automotive stamped inner rib now. And then the other thing that is new, that was new in 24, that's going to continue to 2025, Airstream actually added bracing in the front and the rear caps that help prevent or mitigate that front end separation issue that we all know about, but nobody likes to talk about, or Airstream doesn't like to talk about. You still want to make sure you have the right truck. You still want to make sure that you're not using too much weight distribution, because that's predominantly what we think is causing it. Have the right truck towing your camper, and then have a good setup on your weight distribution if you're using that. But they did add those braces to the front and rear cab, and I have a video. If you search, it's like the Tradewinds 24.5 update or something like that. I think I called that video. I may get in trouble for this. Watch that video, talk more about it, and actually show you the brackets in that video. You can find that on our YouTube channel. Here's the front side, and then the campsite side of the top of the 27-foot Flying Cloud. And you can see the other 2 Marlin solar panels. That is the option for the Flying Cloud. You can add those with batteries or without batteries, and then you can also do it just as pre-wired, and it will be pre-wired with solar, or with the cables going down, so you can add your own solar in if you wanted to. So that is the top of the Flying Cloud. Let me again say we'll go inside and conclude the video. All right, folks, if you made it to this point of the video, again, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do click that subscribe button. It really does help the channel, and it helps us. Now, this is Laura. If you didn't know, this is my wife. She's the one that does all the camera work and now does a lot of the editing, as well as all of our social media stuff. So also like us or follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
Facebook and TikTok.
Facebook, all of those social things. You know, the 21st century, you got to be on that social media. If you have questions about this Flying Cloud or really any Airstream that's on the market, feel free to reach out. My contact information is down there in the description. And remember, you know, we have 10 Airstream stores all across the country, so you don't necessarily have to be in Greensboro, North Carolina to work with me. You can be near one of those stores. For instance, I have a customer that's picking up a Classic in San Diego next week. So, hey, if you're in the San Diego area or the Texas area or the New York area, or, well, anywhere, give me a call. I'll be happy to help you make the right choice, pick the right floor plan, and get the best deal on your Airstream. You have anything you want to say?
Nope.
That's kind of what I thought was going to happen. All right, guys, thanks for watching. You live riveted. We'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye.